like to give a big shout out to our sponsors at Combat Vet CBD. Combat Vet CBD is not only for veterans, it's for you too. Their CBD and Delta 8 products are high quality, full spectrum, and cheaper than all of their competitors. If not, they will match anyone's prices. CBD is all natural and better than pharmaceutical alternatives. Say no to narcotics that make you into a zombie and say yes to Combat Vet CBD. Go to combatvetcbd.com and use the word CULT. That's CULT, CULT, at checkout and save 30% on all products. Hello and welcome to the show. This is the Cult of Conspiracy, and my name is Jonathan.
I'm Jacob.
And Jacob, I told you before the show, a little pre-show action. I said this very topic will blast your reality into tiny little itty-bitty pieces of broken glass.
I'm going to be honest with you, man, and to all of our cult members out there, he hit me with this and was like, dude, I got the topic. I'm like, all right, what you got, bro? He's like, nope, don't worry about it. Just understand. I think the words he actually used were your mind's about to be blown. And I mean, yeah, he may say that from time to time, but this one was serious. I could tell that.
Oh, this one was serious. You know, I'm as serious about this one as I was about the new pandemic targeting kids. Targeting kids. Yeah.
Okay, it's like that.
It's up there.
Well.
And now I'm not going to try and milk this along any further. I'm going to tell you guys exactly. I hate whenever I say you guys. I feel like
You're
northerner.
such a yank, dude.
I'm going to tell y'all what it is. And that is we're going to be talking about Operation Fishbowl.
Let's go.
This is an old school conspiracy. And it's not even really a conspiracy whenever you look deep into it. And that's all we ask you to do. We don't ask you to take our word for anything. Do your own research.
In fact.
That's all we say. And by doing that, you know, maybe we describe it in a certain way, and you're just like, I don't know. You know, maybe we don't describe it well enough, so you're like, let me go and try and disprove these people.
Hey, we've had some people fact check us before, which is great. Hey, do so. Okay, we're not perfect. We make mistakes.
But every now and again, that research that you go and try and disprove other people,
right,
can sometimes shift your way of thinking.
Just shift your paradigm when you ain't ready for it, that's for sure.
Yes, and that's what I like to do. I don't like to immediately discredit anything. What I will do is, you know, I'll say, oh, that's an interesting topic. Let me dig a little deeper. Let me see what I can find. Is this all bullshit? You know? And so, yeah, Operation Fishbowl. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay. So, Operation Fishbowl, it was something that that happened back in 1962. Okay, back in 1962, let me give you before 1962. Let me give you a chain of events that happened before 1962, just so you can kind of gauge, you know, where we were politically and stuff.
That's what I was about to ask you. Now you got to think 1962. What was going on in America, right?
Yeah. Well, that was wasn't that JFK? Was in the 60s, right?
We went to the moon in 69. Right?
Yeah.
We were in the Vietnam War. All right, keep all that in mind. Go ahead.
Okay, actually, we're right. Okay, let's go. All right, so in 1946, this is where all this starts. In 1946, there was...
Right after World War II ended. Go ahead.
Perfect. In 1946, there was Operation High Jump. Okay?
Yes.
High Jump was all about an Antarctic research base. This is whenever Admiral Byrd was going out and discovering Antarctica.
Which, if you haven't heard our episode on Admiral Byrd, go check out the Antarctic episode. It's phenomenal. And also, yes, so I'm with you on that. I remember Operation High Jump. Go ahead.
Yes. And this is, you know, they were trying to explore Antarctica. And this is whenever Admiral Byrd, you know, he coined the... I don't know if he coined the phrase or if this is... Maybe he was just the first person I heard it from. But he called it Little America. You remember that? We watched the video.
Yeah, I forget. He was calling Antarctica Little America.
Right.
Because he knew that we were about to colonize it because it was very rich with oil, with uranium, with gold. Mm-hmm. And he's like, obviously, we're about to annex this place, right? Little America.
Absolutely. And they're still doing that to this day.
Well,
all the resources and everything they can try and pull from this place.
I don't know, man.
Ain't no telling how big that bitch actually is, bro.
Right.
Some people say that it spans the entire Earth.
Oh,
You want to talk about the Antarctic wall?
sure, right? Because the Earth is totally flat. Because it's
Okay.
not.
Hey,
It's fucking not.
hey. You watch your fucking tone because
It's
I'm about to
not.
bring you something that's going to make you question reality.
Oh, here no.
No, this is not a flat Earth
No.
episode. Hold on. I just want to clarify that this is not a flat Earth episode.
Okay.
However, I will say that flat Earthers are on some shit because they bring up a lot of this. Okay, this is not
I
talking
will.
about. Yeah,
I will give flat
And you
earthers
gotta
their
say-
props
you
on
gotta-
this one.
you got to say even David Weiss, whenever he comes on, he talks about some shit not pertaining to flat Earth.
Sure.
You're like, oh fuck.
Okay, I will give flat earthers, and that's not just David Weiss, the ones that I know personally that I've talked to.
Mm.
Their research is pretty spot on. The things that they quote, the things that they cite is actual credible things that, okay, it holds water.
Bro,
I'll give them credit to that.
one or two coincidences, you're like, whatever, brush it off the shoulder, no big deal. I mean,
But-
maybe you or the average person, I look at one coincidence and I'm looking into it. That's how
I hear
am.
you, but it's always okay. And I don't mean to quote unquote offend anybody of any type of belief system here, but like for instance, the Bigfoot crowd, okay,
Mm.
the people who like believe up and down that Sasquatch is real, which not saying I do or don't believe in such. I'm just saying they have a certain
I hope he's real.
right. I hope Sam Squanch is out there just living his best life. But anyway, the things that they source, their quotes, their citable facts, right,
Yeah.
are shaky on a lot of things.
Right.
However, the flat earthers, their citable facts actually do hold water.
Oh, dude.
You know what I mean?
And flat earthers
There's some
are
yeah.
hardcore flat Earth.
They are
You know what I'm saying?
aggressive with it.
I
They're almost
kinda-
like CrossFitters and vegans. They're aggressive with their like they need to tell you about it when no one fucking asked you about it.
That is those are the perfect examples.
CrossFit
Yes.
people, like you will not be talking about fitness and out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm doing this cycle right now. Like, okay, first of all, good morning. No one asked you about your CrossFit. Vegans the same way. They find ways to interject their veganism into the conversation. Flat earthers are the same way.
Yeah. So, I will go about this a very different way. I'm not
Aight.
hardcore on anything. I always like to say I am sure of absolutely nothing.
Okay. So talking about Antarctica, Operation
about-
High Jump.
There was Operation High Jump, and that was, with the whole Antarctic research base and all
Right.
that shit, right, with Admiral Byrd. Then that lasted from 46 to 47. Then there was, in 1955, Operation Deep Freeze, all right? And that was just more research on Antarctica, or so they say, okay? Now, I'm not going to go too far into these things because we've all speculated as what really could be going on in Antarctica. Maybe there's another civilization beyond. If you listen to Admiral Byrd, that there's land bigger than the size of America beyond the South Pole. I mean, who knows?
Hollow Earth.
Hollow Earth, yeah. There's the tunnel that goes to the center of the Earth at the poles, and who knows, man? Who knows?
Who knows?
But I'm here for all of it.
Right.
So anyway, you had Antarctic research base, Operation High Jump, and with Operation Deep Freeze. Then, and that was in 55.
Mhm.
Then in 58, NASA is established. Okay, so
Right.
this is all around the same time.
Right. Operation Paperclip, bringing in the
Operation-
Nazi scientists.
Warner von Braun. We're going to talk about him today, buddy. Don't
Oh,
you
there we
fucking
go.
worry. We're going von Braun today.
Good.
Then in 59, right after NASA was established in 58,
With you.
in 59 was the proposal of the Antarctic Peace Treaty.
Okay.
Okay, that was the proposal of it. In 59, just a year after NASA was created.
With you.
Just a few years after they had been to Antarctica fucking digging for what they can find.
This is before we had satellites in space. This is before Sputnik flew. This is before all of that.
Yes.
All right.
Proposal of the Antarctic Peace Treaty.
Okay.
And then in 61 was the actual implementation of the Antarctic Peace Treaty. So it
Aight.
took a couple years. Also, 61, the same year that JFK announced that he had a goal of sending a man to the moon.
Okay.
The same year, okay? And then in 1962, I just wanted to give those as pretext,
Sure.
just so we can understand where we're at and the gist of how everything's going on in the world.
Right.
In 62 was Operation Fishbowl, all right? And to add a little bit to that, it wasn't until 69 that Neil Armstrong, quote unquote,
Walked on the moon.
was the first man on the moon.
allegedly.
Allegedly. We say that with a strongly drawn out.
Heavy quotation marks, heavy underlined, heavy italicized word.
1,000 winks.
Right.
Yeah. Scratch of the nose, all that stuff.
Indeed.
Anyhow, so This is what they say. What the whole idea of Operation Fishbowl was. This is what they say. The official narrative. It was high altitude nuclear tests. So this is where they were taking bombs. They were taking nukes
Right.
and fucking shooting them up at the sky.
Okay.
Just as high altitude nuclear tests.
So this is when Russia and America were testing their nuclear arsenal.
Yes.
So this is before America bought the islands of Bikini Atoll and started doing testing on a site. They were doing it straight up into the air.
Yes.
Okay,
And
fun.
yes, straight up into the air. Do we really think that that's all they were doing? Like anytime we've all seen those movies, right? Like anytime there's any like plane crash or you hear missiles going off, it's just military tests. Military testing.
I also wouldn't be surprised if the rocket testing and the nuclear testing were neck and neck because Warner von Braun came over with Operation Paperclip, right? And he was working with NASA. Next thing you know, we're trying to put a man on the moon, and we're also doing nuclear aeronautic testing. You know what I'm saying? Instead of dropping it from a plane, as we did with the delivery systems for the Fat Man and Little Boy, right?
Yes.
In World War II, instead of dropping out of a plane that we knew was an excellent delivery system, it worked, it was flawless. Yes, the pilots did get hit with radiation. We didn't understand all of the poisons that we were fucking with at the time. That being said, right, we knew that worked. Instead of that, we're now fucking with rockets and nuclear testing at the same time, being funded by the same group. All right, got it, go.
Keep this in mind. This wasn't just one nuke that was sent up, bro.
Oh, no.
This was a series of nukes that were gradually sent up over time.
Indeed.
Okay.
And this must have been, like I said, before they had bought the islands of Bikini Atoll, which if you haven't checked out that episode we did, go check that one out about nukes are not real, I believe was the name of the episode. And that was fascinating as well. All of the testing that was done at that one site. Now, keep in mind, that's just the site that America uses for their testing. Russia has their own testing sites doing God knows what.
Yeah, the whole idea of nukes not being real, that was one that I really couldn't get behind.
David Weiss believes that, man.
Hey, it's kind of like you put people in a group. If you put yourself in a group, you're going to be deemed what everybody else thinks of that group.
Oh, no, time out. I'm not saying flat earthers believe nukes aren't real. I'm saying that specifically David Weiss believes.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not trying to group all of them with
some
him.
of my favorite people believe that.
I have nukes aren't real?
Yes, I have a lot of people, a lot of podcasts I listen to. They believe that.
What?
Yeah. But it's the philosophy behind it. I understand why they think that. It's just not what I think.
I don't understand the reasoning at all. Why would you believe that was made up?
Basically, to inspire fear, to let everybody know that one man holds the button to end the earth. Basically, that's the whole idea, and nobody does it. All these wars and all these fucking everything that goes on, and nobody's ever really done it.
What?
Yeah, that's the whole deal.
Oh no, dude! A fear tactic is not a one man with the key and the button situation. A fear tactic is like COVID, right? It's a virus that nobody could stop. It's gonna happen, and we're just waiting for it to hit our area to see who's gonna drop next. That is true fear tactics.
Do you want to hear what actually went on with Operation Fishbowl?
Let's go.
Okay, so I said the official narrative. We all know not to believe the official narratives.
Never.
Every single time there's an official narrative, assume that it's dog shit.
Right.
Like, you looking on the news, you're looking at CNN, or you're looking at Fox News. If you think you're smarter that way, you're not.
Nah.
Fox, CNN, they're fucking two wings of the same bird.
Yep.
That's all they are. Just complete opposites. One makes fun of the other, yada, yada. You see it all the time. It's all the time. No matter what political parties. And you know what? CNN never used to be, at least in my opinion, never used to be one-sided like that. It never used to be like Fox versus CNN until lately, and it's just stupid. I don't get down with it.
Honestly, I believe that came really hardcore from the Bush-Al Gore presidential campaign.
Okay.
At that point is when it's seriously like, I don't know what the divide looked like in the 90s. I was too young to really recall that. But I can remember at that point, it was like, it's either you watch one or the other, and you're either affiliated with this group or that group. And the divide was something serious at that point.
Oh, hardcore.
You know what I'm saying?
Hardcore.
Y2K brought on a lot of changes for us.
So why you shouldn't believe that official narrative of them just testing high altitude nuclear fucking missiles.
Obviously.
Why you shouldn't believe that is because of this is what was really going on.
All right.
What was really going on is they were shooting missiles into space to break through the fucking firmament. That's what was going on here.
What?
Yes. And you know what? I'm not even going to lie to you. I've looked into this before, and I always thought maybe there's a firmament, maybe there's not. You know, what can you really believe? Yada, yada, right?
So then what was the purpose of breaking through the firmament?
Oh, boy. There's so much. There's
Okay.
so much.
Let's go.
Why did Nimrod try to build that tower?
Which one?
Tower of Babel?
To reach the heaven?
I'm just saying. All right. So let me go down this a little bit more. The missiles hit the ceiling. Bro, all right. So there are videos, and I'm not going to put these in here because I already got plenty of videos. I want everybody to do their own research on this and just look at the videos of the missile. I know most of our listeners are just listeners and not subscribed to Rockfin. However, what I will say is that this would be the perfect episode to go ahead and subscribe on Rockfin. Go to rockfin.com/cultic conspiracy and sign up, dude. It's super cheap, and you're going to get loads of immaculate content, everything that was wiped away and just erased from YouTube. There's no bullshit over here.
Yeah.
We play in deep waters, not shallow waters like bitch-ass YouTube.
Facts.
Just throwing that out there.
Although, at some point in time, my spinoff podcast might go on YouTube. I ain't decided yet. For now, it'll just be audio.
Hey, dude,
Gonna throw
you
that
never
out.
know. YouTube, that's where that's the training wheels.
Well, the way I see
You might
it is,
outrun those training wheels.
maybe one day. But the way I see it, all the content I'm going to put out on that channel is going to be all naturally and inherently YouTube friendly. It's not like I'm going to have to worry about censoring myself because I'm not putting my own spin on it. I'm just presenting what it is.
Hey, you never know.
You never know.
You never know what the future could hold with YouTube. I think they're just going to be banning everything except for cartoons one day. It's just going to turn into just such a shit show.
It's not looking good, man.
So anyway, the missiles hit the ceiling, and people check this out. So whenever the rockets were shot up, or the nukes were shot up during Operation Fishbowl, whenever they shot them up to the sky, bro, you could people literally on the other half of the hemisphere, on the other part of the hemisphere, could see it light up the sky.
Wait.
So it was dark in one area, right?
Yeah.
Light in the other area on the two sides of the hemisphere.
Okay.
You could see it light up the sky in both hemispheres. That's how massive this sighting was.
Okay, so this happened one time or multiple times?
A couple of times over a couple of years.
Okay, so the official narrative is that, was it the U.S., was it Russia, was it both?
Yeah. It was U.S.
Okay, so the official narrative on record is that it was the United States government sending up and testing nuclear bombs in the air.
Monster bombs, dude. Atomic.
And that's what they claim is what happened.
Yes, they claim it was just testing. Just testing.
That would be really fucking dumb, especially what we know about radiation, which they learned all about after they dropped those first two.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's not that they were stupid back then. They knew what the fuck they were doing. It's just the story they fed everybody.
So you're
was
saying
stupid.
You're saying they were trying to blow thhrorough the firmament.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, like I told you before, I wasn't sure about this topic before, but after doing all this research, I am 1,000% sure there's a firmament.
Okay, well then prove it to me, because I don't believe that we're in a flat Earth or that there's a firmament.
Oh, I'm gonna prove it to you.
Okay.
I don't know about the flat Earth. I'm not going that far.
Okay.
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
I believe that we have an atmosphere. If that's a firmament that you're describing, if we're saying the same thing in different ways, then fine.
No.
Okay.
Because that's what I thought.
All right, so explain to me what a firmament is. I've lived under a rock my entire life, and you're telling me we live in a dome of some type. What is it, and why?
It is a hard shell protecting the waters from above from the waters below.
What waters above?
The waters above, dude. Like it says it right there in the Bible. And God created the firmament to protect the waters, protect the land below from the waters above.
Is that the direct quote?
I mean, it's a roundabout there. I don't know the direct. I mean, they probably threw a couple of haths and thous and shalls in there, but I don't know. I mean, I also speak English. I don't know,
Fair
Hebrew
enough.
or anything.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. So, assuming that it's all right, I'm with you.
Okay,
So it's there to separate our world from whatever's on the other side, and it's a hard shell.
dude, it's a hard shell. Some have said. Now, I couldn't verify this. I mean, I could only, find it from a few sources.
Okay.
But some have said that that shell,
Mm.
the quote unquote shell, is made of sapphire.
Okay. Pause.
And what I'm going to bring you to another place that's going to kind of relate to that. And it's biblical.
Okay, let's go.
You're a Bible loving man.
I am indeed.
All right. So I want you to have an open mind with this.
I really am.
I know.
I'm trying to see this for what it is, because the fact of the matter is that these tests did happen.
Yes.
There were nuclear bombs that that blew up in the air. That's confirmed.
Mm.
What were they being done for? I believe that would be very stupid of them, which they knew about blowing up radiation in the air and how that would affect them, unless they were shooting it up there for a purpose. You see what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
I don't think they would have done the testing like that, because we wouldn't blow shit up in the sky. We would have tested it at a target on land, right? A city, a building, a block, not the fucking air.
Okay, so check this out. Oppenheimer. You know Oppenheimer,
I do.
right? Creator of the nuke.
Indeed.
Check this out. Whenever whenever they told him that this is what they were planning on doing, whenever he found out that this is what they were planning on doing, check this out. Oppenheimer, the creator of the nuke,
Right.
was terrified that a high altitude detonation could cause a mass extinction by lighting the entire atmosphere on fire.
So,
This guy,
do you understand how that works?
which part?
All right. When you get to a certain level of pressure differential, when you see these bombs go off, there's videos you could see actually the testing at Bikini Atoll, as a matter of fact. There's the old school bombs that were just a mushroom cloud, right? And it was that very cartoony looking shit. When you get to a certain size of damage, right? The air around it literally liquefies and then evaporates and kind of explodes in and of itself.
Crystallizes too, because it's up in that high altitude, cold weather.
Well, in the
cold air.
In the high altitude, I can't speak on, right? But what I am saying, as far as you are vaporizing and therefore separating the hydrogen and oxygen molecules from the air and then burning off strictly oxygen. So more or less, you're setting off chain reactions of bombs naturally from that happening. So that's a portion of it as well. So this guy is thinking, if y'all are trying to send that much bomb power, that much ass in weight of kaboom up into the air, he's afraid that the oxygen is so rich. Well, I guess not, because everybody knows the oxygen level is not rich up there. But either way, he was afraid that it was going to more or less completely decimate the oxygen on Earth from this amount of shit going kaboom in the air. I get that.
Chemistry would work a little bit different up there, so to say.
Right, but he was afraid of that, which, again, we didn't know if that would happen or not, because it's never been fucking done before.
But here's the thing. They knew that wasn't going to happen.
Why?
Because they knew they weren't just pointing up at the sky and saying, I'm just going to blast this bitch up, right? No, they were pointing at something, bro. They had a target.
All right, let's hear it.
They had a target, and the target was the firmament. Check this out. One of the nukes that were sent up, so they named all the nukes.
Right.
Like every single time there was an operation, it was just under the umbrella of Operation Fishbowl.
Right.
Right? But every single one of the nukes had a name. One of the names of one of these nukes was called Dominic Chama. Okay? It's a weird thing. You know what I'm saying? But they always name it some kind of weird shit, especially when it's going to space.
Well, yeah, I mean, all the nukes have bomb names, you know. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head the name of the biggest one we ever tested. Damn, we talked about it in that episode, as a matter of fact, and the whole nukes aren't real one.
I don't know.
I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. So Dominic Chama, when translated from Latin, you're finding what these words mean, okay? Because my name means something, your name means something. My name, Jonathan, means gift from God.
Right.
Right? Like that's the fucking the definition of some sorts.
Not a fan of the definition of my name.
What is yours?
Schemer, grabber of ankles, deceiver.
Really?
Yeah, because
Well, that's biblical, yeah.
Jacob in the Bible did those things.
Oh,
So if we're gonna go with like direct translation, my name does not translate well. Although later on he became Israel, and there's a whole thing named after him. Maybe you've heard of it. It's this land and people and thing. Anyway, moving on.
Israel.
Indeed.
Anyhow, so the name translates to Dominic, meaning belonging to God, and Chama, meaning a fixed massive shell. Okay, so now these things are often reversed.
God's shell.
The shell belonging to God, or
Okay.
the firmament.
Oh my God.
Okay,
All right. I'm listening.
Weird coincidences.
I'm with you.
Weird
Okay.
coincidences.
That's an eyebrow raiser.
It's a weird one. All right, that's not even the weirdest. That's
Okay.
like on the that's a 2 on the scale of where I'm about to take you.
Let's go.
All right, are you ready for this roller coaster?
I'm
All right,
ready, dog.
because it gets weird. It gets super weird. I have a bunch of videos and just art, internet articles that I'd like to show you, but I'm going to read through my notes first, and then we're going to go to those.
Okay.
So that's why this may not sound like it's in order, but I'm going to do my best to keep it in order. I'm just very unorderly. So we talk about gematria.
Yeah.
Okay, gematria. Like we had the gematria show. We tried getting him back on. For some reason, he won't. But anyway, we like him anyway. Hopefully, he does come back on. Gematria. All right. The simple gematria value of Operation Fishbowl is 207.
Okay.
You type in Operation Fishbowl and the number value for each one of those letters.
Yeah.
Comes out to 207. The meaning, you can look up these meanings.
Okay.
In Hebrew, as far as what each number actually means. It's
Right.
gematria value, what it actually means.
Right.
And it's not just single digits. You can go up to double digits, triple digits.
Oh, yeah, whatever you
quadruple
want.
digits. Because for some reason, there's just a fucking meaning to every number out there.
Because the math equates. The
Right.
math will always equate to something.
And the Hebrews knew all this. I mean, this was something that, they really praised. I mean, this is how they spoke in code a lot.
Basically.
I mean, this is how they kept a lot of the people from the truth, right? Because wasn't it like, you were considered pretty much stupid, like you couldn't read. You had to become illuminated whenever you became.
Oh, no. That was the Catholic Church. The Jews were being educated was a very big staple of their entirety.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, no. From a very early age, you're taught reading, writing, math.
Oh, good for them then.
Oh, yeah.
All
yeah.
right. Good for the
The
Jews.
Catholic Church is the one that pretty much said, no, reading? Only religious people can read. Can't
Okay.
let the common man learn things. You crazy?
So check it out, dude. The simple gematria value, like I said, of Operation Fishbowl is 207.
Okay.
The meaning behind that, of the value of 207 in Hebrew, it means to light, to kindle, to make bright, to illuminate, or enlighten. Okay, so I just thought that was weird. That was my
Okay.
own little connection that I
I'm
kind of,
with you.
just wanted to throw out there. I'm just saying there's no coincidences to these fucking things.
I agree.
There's no coincidences. So there's been plenty of things that have there's been plenty of movies, plenty of things in TV shows that would kind of guide you to kind of leading you to believe that maybe there is a firmament. All right. We've all seen The Truman Show.
Yeah.
He lived in a dome.
Indeed. That
right?
would have been
He
a
took
firmament.
He took his sailboat, punched it through a fucking hole in the wall of the firmament.
No, he ran into it and then walked to a door he found, remember?
Right.
But anyway, okay, I'm with you. I'm trying to ask what makes you so sure that it is a dome rather than the model that we've been taught our entire life, as far as a globe goes, as far as an atmosphere goes, things like that.
I'm going to get there.
Okay.
We're going to get there.
And for the record, how you said it separates the waters from up above to below.
Yeah.
I also believe that kind of goes inside with what I believe space is. I don't believe it's a vacuum. I believe it is a fluid. I believe it's able to flow from one direction to another. I'm not saying it's necessarily gaseous or liquid or something in between. I'm saying it's something that doesn't exactly fit into our scale of what physical entities are on this earth. I believe
Or
space is something extra.
how science has lied to us, which it's still doing to this day.
Correct.
We can agree on that.
Sure.
Science has always lied. What science is out there, what science has been published, are those who have been funded. Because these scientists are not going to fucking perform any kind of research just on their own dime. They're not really rich. They have to make their money in one form or fashion.
And you know who's got the most money to fund the most research is the church.
That's true.
I'm just saying.
That's true.
And somehow they just don't. They just don't.
Well,
Well, nowadays I would say they do more. There's more research and more excavations and digs and archaeological sites being dug to prove the stories of the Bible that actually happened. So I guess to be fair, that's getting a little more weight pushed behind it now than ever before. But anyway,
okay. So this is a
Well,
Christian website that
okay.
we're on right now.
The hell?
This was just published in September 28th of this year.
Says,
The firmament in the Bible is the tremendous dome-shaped expanse of sky separating the upper atmosphere or waters from the lower waters of the earth. On the second day of the creation account, God created the firmament. And then it quotes here, and then God said, "Let there be space between the waters to separate the waters of the heavens from the waters of the earth." And that is what happened. God made this space to separate the waters of the earth from the waters of the heavens. God called this space sky, and evening passed and morning came, marking the second day. Now, I do want to clarify something, because we know that words change up throughout all the different texts of every single Bible out there. This is the New Living Testament.
Okay.
This is the new shit.
Sure.
All right, so that's a problem with translation. Is if you said God called the expanse sky, no, he didn't. No, the fuck he didn't, bro.
Right.
He didn't say that.
And then to be fair, how do we even know that was a correct translation done from Aramaic or Hebrew to English of today's English? You know what I mean?
Right.
Even if you look at the King James Version, how do you know that was done correctly? How do you know that those people were masters of those languages and could make the correct translational? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, people still mistranslate to this day with all the different translate devices even. You don't even need to rely on people.
I know. Now, again, as I am saying this...
Now, who's editing those websites? That's another thing.
Fair. But even as I'm saying that, and as I've said that I believe that the Bible itself is the word that has... I believe that it is what was meant for us to read. Okay? I'm not saying that this is a step-by-step, this happened, because it's in here, and boom, just don't question it. Like, no, I'm with you.
Right.
I also just believe that it answers the questions for me that it needs to answer for me.
But what about all this? Well, don't answer that until we go through all of it. I'll say that.
Well, that's what I was going to say as far as this goes. I don't necessarily see it as a what I just take it as what it is.
We'll take baby steps there.
All right.
Okay, the firmament in the Bible, the key takeaways. The firmament is first mentioned in the Bible in chapter 1 in the book of Genesis. The firmament is a ceiling or dome-like vault stretching out to form a solid canopy over the earth, separating the heavens above and the earth below. Sometimes the firmament is called heaven in the Bible. The word firmament comes from the Latin firmamentum, and appears 17 times in the King James Version of the Bible, as well as the older translations. So you look up firmamentum. Let me take you here. Let me take you on a little journey.
All right.
Firmamentum. All right. Literally, that which strengthens or supports. The meaning of a strengthening support prop, especially in the figurative sense, as it says here, is a classical and frequently occurs in Cicero. I think that's how you say that.
Okay.
Okay. The cosmological sense is coined in the Vulgate and limitation of LXX. I don't know what the hell that means.
That would be the year.
Okay. What is that? 70?
L is 50. So yeah, 70. Go ahead.
Okay. Where was I? Firm or solid structure, which in turn translates to Hebrew, and then it shows the Hebrew spelling of it. Some have viewed this as a mistranslation, and the modern New American Standard Bible translates this as an expanse, based on modern scientific bias, which we've talked about. However, ancient Hebrews, including those who translated the Hebrew Bible into Greek, used this term to refer to solid material. Hence, I don't even know what to say about that. The Hebrew spelling of this word.
Right.
Firm or structure. I believe they're talking about the firmament. Firm or structure. The Hebrew rakia, R-A-K or R-A-Q-I-A.
Okay.
refers to a hard substance that has been hammered out by craftsmen. All right. So ancient Hebrews, in line with their Mesopotamian neighbors, understood the firmament or sky as a dome over which was a layer of water, under which rotated the sun, moon, and stars. The Genesis creation account is accommodated to the pre-scientific understanding of the sky as a dome with a layer of cosmic waters above and the stellar constellations below.
Yeah, they thought the sun was within the firmament.
No. They didn't think. They fucking knew. All right? They knew it.
Okay.
They knew it. All right? You got to look
Sure.
back. People back in the day, they were so much wiser than we are now. It's unreal how much wiser they were.
But
we
they
are,
also
we are babies compared to the people of this day.
not necessarily, bro. These people were also writing down what they saw. And if you had no understanding of science, gravity, physics, anything about anything, and you just looked at the sky on any clear day when there's no clouds, and you looked and saw just the blue, you would see a dome, right?
Would you?
Yeah, have you ever done that?
Not
Look
really.
outside anytime there's no clouds on a bright day, okay?
Uh-huh.
You will see that on either side of you, the edges look way light, and directly above you is super dark blue.
Okay.
And it looks like, from your perspective, you're standing in a dome. Okay? So the people writing this, of course, they would have that. And if that's the case, if that's the dome, the sun is within the dome, that makes sense. Well, the sky is blue, the ocean is blue. That must mean that there's water on the other side of whatever the hell that is. I don't think they understood how any of that worked. They were just writing down the best they could to what their imaginations could put together. Keep in mind, these are the same people that when they wrote about the first angel they ever saw, they wrote down that it was a fucking fiery wheel with eyeballs all over that was speaking to them. Is that actually what they saw? Or is that literally the most that their imagination could put that they could write down into words? You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, dude, I don't look at the ancient way of thinking and the ancient way of knowing as just a form of misunderstanding. We have a such higher understanding level of
Well, we
just
do.
what is. I don't think we do, though.
There are certain things that we do and certain things that we've lost. I'll give you that for sure.
Sure. There's been inventions. They didn't have certain inventions back then. That's great.
I'm even talking about just as far as health goes. You know what I mean? Like, these people didn't know what medicine was. They didn't know what hygiene was, right? But at the same time, they knew how to survive in pretty much whatever condition they found themselves in when we do not. So I'm not saying that we are better or worse than they are. I'm saying that we are just different. It is a different world that we're talking about. You know?
We are very different, but I think that we are just infants compared to their infinite amount of knowledge that they
Sure.
had and was lost over the years
Yeah.
because of certain colonies and certain fucking kingdoms taking over and
Sure.
wiping out all forms of any kinds of information. We know that book burning goes on. It goes on the fucking internet nowadays.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
So
all getting canceled these days.
yes, and you know how they do it. Anytime they're trying to disprove of anything that anybody believes, they make fun of it,
Mhm.
right? And like people are taught to make fun of certain things that they don't understand.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's way easier to make fun of something than to try to understand it and be that person who's being laughed at.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? And so that's where this show goes. We don't give a fuck if we're laughed at. We're looking deeper into these certain things.
If you can't tell that our show has a tinge of comedy to it, then you're probably in the wrong spot.
Yeah, we laugh at ourselves, dude.
That's the point.
That's the fun of it.
Yo, none of us is making it out of this life alive. Okay, let's take a bit of humor with it, shall we?
Shall we?
All
Okay.
right.
So now I want to go over all the times, or a few of the times. I believe they said that it was mentioned 17 times in the King James Version. This one's only showing 15 of those results. But all the times that firmament was mentioned in the King James Version, 15 of them at least. In Genesis 1:6, and God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And I'm just going to go on. This is Genesis 1:6 through 1:8. And then it goes on, and God made the firmament. Damn, I can't say that word. And divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. Now we go to Genesis 1:14, and God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, for seasons, for days and years." He didn't say stars. He didn't say fucking planets.
He said lights.
Motherfucker said lights, dude. I know that's God saying it. I'm not trying to call you a motherfucker.
No, you're fine.
I mean, he kind of is, though.
So he
got
said
old Mary pregnant.
from an angel whispering to her.
Yeah. That's some serious whisperage.
That dude's tongue game must have been... How you that dirty talk? You are that good at dirty talk that you got her pregnant.
Women fall for
touching her.
that shit.
Oh my God.
You know, they love a little whispering action.
So much so she got pregnant?
Not gonna lie, dude. My girl whispers in my ear. I'm like, yo, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
There's certain... And I'll tell you what, bro. I don't believe in horoscopes and zodiacs and all that dumb shit. However, the thing about what zodiac and what their hot spots are, I'm not going to lie. I've yet to see that be incorrect.
That's what I'm saying,
That's
dude. And it
wild.
says it right here.
What?
Let them be for signs, for seasons, for days, and for years. For signs and for seasons.
Sounds like we're talking about stars right now. You're saying it's not stars, it's lights?
Lights? Stars?
Well, then explain this. If we were on a flat plane or something with a dome-type firmament type,
Okay.
then why can't the people in Australia look at the same constellations we can?
Why can't they look at the same? I don't.
If it's the same sky,
I don't know whether they can or can't.
That they don't. They
They can't see the North Star.
They don't have a Big and Little Dipper. They have whole other constellations they be fucking with. Because
No.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to clarify that.
Have you never looked at that app and seen if you look up at the sky right now with this app, it'll show you what zodiac you're looking at and what the stars are. It's really cool. But if you go downward and you look at the ground, it will show you on the other side of the earth what constellations they're looking at right now if it's nighttime
Oh
and
yeah,
shit.
I've seen that.
And that's legit. That's what they're looking at.
I've never heard about Australian fucking constellations
Or
though.
Chinese or African. It doesn't matter. How come they're looking at completely different sets of stars than we are?
Is this why they have like the year of the ox and the year of the horse and all that shit over in China?
Well, I mean,
Is it the constellation?
I don't know. I would think so, but at the same time, I don't know enough about ancient Chinese culture to say where those particular animals came from for the year. So I'm not going to speak on it.
We'll do a dig on that one day.
But that would be cool, right?
Yeah, that'd be a cool dig. What other
Ooh.
constellations do other continents have?
What other types of zodiacs, right? Because I know there's Chinese zodiacs. There's Celtic
For sure.
zodiacs.
But where does that all come from? Does it all come from the quote unquote stars in the sky?
Well, okay, and that's the thing too. The Chinese zodiac, for instance, is that where the year of the horse, the year of the monkey, is that their zodiac thing, or is that a completely different thing? I don't know, right?
It is. Well, I mean, they see it as at least resembling a zodiac.
But I know that Celtics and African as well, when they did what their version of zodiac was, it was very much so with constellations and the stars for their area.
I was born in the year of the golden horse, by the way.
I don't know what my year was.
Shame on you. You never read your fortune cookie? All right, so we're going to go a little bit deeper here. Genesis 1:14, and God said, let there be lights in the firmament. We already went over that.
Yep.
Genesis 1:15, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and it was so.
Okay. Cool.
Of the heaven to give light upon the earth. That was the entire purpose.
Yeah.
That's all. Okay. Genesis 1:17, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. Genesis 1:20, and God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creatures that have life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven.
In the open firmament of heavens, there's going to be birds flying in the open firmament, meaning the air. Just going to throw that out. You mean air?
I don't know what goes on the other side of the firmament.
It says there's birds flying, correct?
Maybe there is, maybe there isn't.
Okay, so by firmament, maybe, hear me out.
Uh-huh.
Do they mean literal air to separate the water of the ocean from the fluid that is space? We have this giant air gap that we live in, and that's what they mean by firmament?
What's containing that air?
Gravity.
Just gravity. I wonder where gravity is in this Bible. Oh, yeah. Doesn't say anything about it.
What?
Doesn't say a damn thing about gravity in the Bible.
You don't have to. It's a fact. Drop something, it hits the earth. It's not a fucking thing to fable over.
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. We can go back and forth on that all day long. And guys, all right, Psalm 19:1. We were gonna talk about old Warner Von Braun.
Yeah.
Psalm 19:1 just so happened to be the Bible verse that was written on his tombstone.
That he may or may not actually be buried in, but that's a talk for another day.
Sure.
Y'all ain't ready for that conversation.
Whether he is or isn't, the official narrative is that is his indeed tombstone.
Right.
Just hilarious.
What is it
that
again?
The fucking rocket guy creating NASA,
Nazi extraordinaire himself,
also didn't die until 77, so he was here for all that.
Super homeboys with Walt Disney.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Psalms 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork.
Okay.
Why the fuck would Warner Von Braun talk about the firmament, bro?
The firmament shows his handiwork?
Yeah. Shows God's handiwork.
Hold on. What's that quote? We may edit this little small segment out, but I want to look up in my Bible exactly that part because I want to read the context.
Okay.
Because that's all right. All right. I'm with you right now.
Psalm 19:1.
I was in Revelation over here. I was doing research.
Psalm with a P.
Right.
P silent.
Yeah. Psalms is it's a song that you're supposed to sing actually. Psalms what?
19:1.
19:1.
A little mix up of 9/11, huh?
Okay, I guess that's
they get weird with it, dude.
This is for the director of music, a Psalm of David. Okay, now keep in mind this is all supposed to be sang. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. The skies proclaim the work of his hands.
That's what I'm saying. They fucking substituted sky for firmament.
All right, hold on. This is the New International Version. Let me put on old King James real quick.
King James will talk about the firmament.
That's what I'm gonna look it up. So I'm gonna show the distinction here. That this offline.
It was after King
I would
James.
have to update my app for that right now.
It was after King James.
Well, yeah, of course. King James is the first English translation.
Well, no, here. Look, right here. Other translations. Bang.
Oh.
King James. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork.
Okay.
Would you look at that?
Well, isn't that special?
Yes, yes.
Wait, is this all of the translations for that one verse?
Maybe.
Yeah, what website is this? That's dope.
Bible Gateway.
Okay, anyway. Verse 2, day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they reveal knowledge. Okay, wow.
What kind of knowledge they revealing?
Oh, shit.
Is it probably shit that we're not aware of? Because they were way smarter and way more wise back then.
They have no speech. They use no words. No sound is heard from them. Yet their voice goes out into all the earth, their words to the ends of the world. In the heavens, God has pitched a tent for the sun. It is like a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, like a champion rejoicing to run his course. Okay, anyway, it's a love song to God.
Beautiful.
Which is basically what the book of Psalms is. Also a song of songs. But
Song of songs. So you got Warner Von Braun having on his tombstone Psalm 19:1, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork.
Okay, so in other translations, it's translated to skies. But go ahead.
Sure. But as I said a few minutes ago,
sure.
At everything after the King James Version, they stopped calling it firmament and they started calling it sky.
I'm with you.
Which King James was probably written in what, 1500? Something like that.
Oh, shit. If you would have asked me any other day, I'd be able to tell you exactly the year that it was written. And right now, I'm drawing a blank.
It was around that area, probably.
It was Middle Ages. I mean, King James the first.
Okay. So we move on. Psalm 151. Or 150-1. Praise ye Lord, praise God in his sanctuary, praise him in the firmament of his power. Ezekiel 122. And the likeness of the firmament upon the heads of the living creature was as the color of the terrible crystal stretched forth over their heads above. That's where the whole crystal idea comes from.
What was that? Ezekiel what?
122.
Hold on now, because Ezekiel, that's a book of prophets.
Oh, yeah. Old Zeke knew what the fuck he was talking about back in the day.
Ezekiel what?
122.
Ezekiel book 1, verse 22?
Yep.
For a second, I thought you meant 122 is in the chapter. I'm like, bro, there ain't that many. All right, 122. Here we go. This is the New International Version. All right.
Okay.
Spread out above the heads of the living creatures was what looked something like a vault, sparkling like crystals and awesome. Under the vault, their wings were stretched out one toward the other, and each had 2 wings covering its body. When the creature moved, I heard the sound of their wings like the roar of rushing water, like the voice of the Almighty, like the tumult of an army. When they stood still, they lowered their wings. What the hell?
Ezekiel was on some shit.
Huh.
Believe he was on some mushrooms, in my opinion. Took a handful of mushrooms.
Well, there's a thing to say that this might have been a dream. And it was him writing dreams down. Or was this a vision that God sent him, right? Which
don't know.
all of this will be covered in the spin-off podcast. Check us out.
I'm sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
didn't mean to cut you off. I'm going to let you.
That was it. That was a plug.
I just got to say something.
Yeah.
You claim to be a King James Version type of guy.
I am. And
But then you source from the New Living Testament. Why is this?
I actually typically go with the King James Version. It's been a while since I used this particular Bible app, and the default is the New International Version.
Oh, okay.
And I already have the King James loaded up, but I haven't updated the app in a while. And apparently, to do it, I would have to update, which I need to do in a minute. But I'm not
the old King James Version needs updated. Is that what they're saying?
No, the app needs updating. But anyway, and I do both because I like seeing the different translations and how this particular group wanted that to be interpreted, how they took it. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine how many more times it's going to be translated? Like, imagine 200 years, 300 years in the future. It's going to be translated so fucking far. None of it's going to make a
I don't believe it's going to last that much longer.
Okay, we'll go there.
And that's not an end time prophecy thing, honestly. I believe that my religion is starting to show the signs of being under persecution. And
it's been under siege for a while now.
Well, slowly but surely, right? And I think that it's getting to a point now to where it's not going to be new translations in the next 300 years. It's going to be, let's find whatever Bible is left standing.
Okay.
But that could be a talk for another day. That's like Book of Eli type shit.
Hopefully, yeah, Book of Eli. I fucking love that movie.
Right? What a solid fucking movie.
Denzel's such a stud.
Oh.
Ezekiel 1:23. Okay, I'll just read both of them back to back.
Right,
and the likeness of the firmament upon the heads of the living creature was as the color of the terrible crystal stretched forth over their heads above. And under the firmament were their wings straight, and the one toward the other. Every one had 2 which covered on this side, and every one had 2 which covered on that side, their bodies.
He's talking about
angels?
Type of firmament of whatever that is covering up the head of a creature, right? Does this mean a halo?
Who knows, dude?
Does this mean some sort of shell? Does this mean a different type of aura that's around them? A different type of atmosphere that's around them?
I don't know. I don't think angels are like humanoid looking.
You're gonna make me give some revealers.
Okay.
But I can tell you that some are.
Really?
I can firsthand account to that.
Oh.
Now, going off
You're such a tease with this story. I know the cult member's been begging you for it.
I know. I'm waiting. I'm waiting till we get to our 2-hour destination, bro.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm sticking true to it.
This might be a couple-year teaser.
That's up to the podcast, bro. That's up to the cult members. That depends on how fast they, get the word out and share us and spread our message. You know what I mean?
Spread the good news.
Anyway, and by doing so, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and comment, rate us with the 5 stars. Help us break through the algorithm to help us grow this thing, man. Help us, and we will help you in return with our knowledge and our entertainment, if you want to call it that.
It's entertaining knowledge, kind of.
Yeah.
Because knowledge would consider that it is mainstream.
No.
Like it would be considered mainstream.
Shit, these days nothing knowledgeable is mainstream.
Well,
nothing with actual depth.
You
and
ask
real
some
insight.
people, they'll say the only thing knowledgeable is mainstream.
Well, those
if
people,
it's understood by everybody. You ever hear those people that say, we understand as an American, or we understand as a scientific community? I'm just like, who the fuck is we, bro? Because I don't understand that.
Anybody who's saying that has basically an ostrich to their head in the sand.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, like, I just can't. I can't stand people who don't do their own research, dude.
Nah, man.
Like, do your own research. Pull your head out of the sand. Pull your head out of your ass.
Use us as a resource, of course, but whenever we tell you these things, don't just take it at face value. Do your digging, man.
Yes, let us stroke your conspiracy brain.
Indeed.
Moving on, Ezekiel 125. There's only 4 more of these. I just wanted to bring all these up just so you can see all the different, the different contexts of all these things. Ezekiel 125, there was a voice from the firmament that was over their heads when they stood and had let down their wings. A voice from over the firmament that was over their heads. Okay. Call it a sky, I guess. I mean, sure, maybe there's sky before it.
Maybe it means atmosphere. Maybe it means aura, right? Maybe it means like there's some kind of ethereal, translucent kind of vibe about them that they don't really know what to call it, but it's something around them.
Here's the idea where we get the firmament being made of sapphire. This is where it all comes from, is right here. I'm about to read to you.
Okay.
And the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone. And upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as the appearance of a man above upon it.
Maybe it was an alien and that was its spacesuit helmet, dog.
I don't know if aliens are real. I don't know about aliens. I'm on the fence with aliens, dude.
You're on the fence with them still?
Dude, I go through phases. I'm not even gonna lie.
What?
Like, I legit go through phases in what I believe about aliens.
Oh, I definitely believe they're there.
I don't have a strict knowing of one way or another.
No, there's nothing we can know. I believe that there's other life out there for sure.
If there's a universe with billions of stars, sure. If that's the narrative. Yeah. What if you found out there was a firmament and that there really was a heaven directly above that firmament? You wouldn't be thinking there's life somewhere else because there would be nowhere else. It would only be heaven above and us below.
Okay, hold on. I've actually never sat down and had this thought. So let's say that I completely assumed that you got me. We are on a flat disc.
I'm not even saying that.
Well, whatever. We have a firmament, a hard shell coating around us that somehow the sun is inside. Somehow the moon is just there.
They're stuck in the firmament, bro.
They're stuck in it.
Yeah.
Right, of course. All right, and so and the firmament's got to be something hard like a sapphire or like a rock or a crystal or some sort of diamond. Who knows?
I mean, according to the Bible.
Okay.
This is the holy word that would be carried out generation to generation.
That doesn't necessarily disprove aliens, bro. Maybe they have the technology to break through the firmament. They're talking about something that can pass through dimensional time and space.
How are they breaking through the firmament? Where are they breaking through the firmament from?
The other side.
What is on the other side?
I don't know. Guess I'll figure it out one day.
Maybe it's heaven.
Or it's space.
Or it's heaven, as the Bible says.
Well, I do believe that heaven is out there. I don't necessarily think that it's a physical realm of our 3D playing field that we can just get to.
Probably not, but I don't think that any of the planets are either.
I think they are. I don't for instance, the Tower of Babylon, or the Tower of Babel, not Babylon, the Tower of Babel, excuse me, or Babel as some people pronounce it.
Sure.
I don't think I don't think God ruined all of that construction and all of that to stop them from reaching heaven. He did that to check their ego.
Why not do it now?
What do you mean?
We've been to so-called Mars, right? We've been to the fucking moon, right? Those are supposedly in outer space, way past old fucking what's his name was trying to get past with the fucking tower.
But
way past that?
What was the intent? The people that were doing the tower were trying to reach heaven. That was their entire goal.
Are you trying to say that we understand the intent of what NASA is trying to do?
No, not at all. But what I'm saying is whatever their intent is, it's not to reach heaven. I'm not saying it's a good reason that they're doing what they're doing, but I'm saying it's not for the purpose of trying to be equal to God.
So you're saying that whenever they were trying to reach the heavens on this Tower of Babel, that strictly because they had intent of reaching a heaven which you don't think is directly above us, as the Bible says.
Right.
God spited them anyway.
Yeah, this is Old Testament God.
I mean, old God was a douche. Let's just be real.
He had he was a bit of a stricter dude back in those days.
Tower of Babel was Old Testament?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I don't know
Old,
timelines of the Bible.
Old Testament.
Okay.
This is back when the world all spoke one language, Old Testament. You feel me?
Back in the gap.
That's where this came from. Everybody came down. This is what they teach these people as to where different languages came from, bro. They say that it all started with the Tower of Babel or Babel, whatever.
Oh, that makes sense because we babble when we speak.
That's where the English word comes from, as a matter of fact.
Ah.
So, yeah, a lot of our words like that, weird ones like that, are derived from old shit. Like the Bible is a good one, or the Torah. Anyway, so they believe that God made everyone speak a whole different language. They were all speaking in a different tongue from each other, and they couldn't complete the construction project. And that's where different languages from around the world came from. Bro, what? No, it came from people of different places liking to make different sounds to mean different shit. I'm just saying.
I mean, if everybody on the earth all spoke one language, how could people come from other places speaking a different language?
Well, that's when this whole talk about was this during Pangea, right? And then the whole talk about how old is the earth actually comes into play. And then it's a weird slippery slope that people that don't know a lot will connect the dots on, thinking that there's some real thread here. And it's like, you're off by a couple billion there, darling, but all right. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Okay, look, I'm going to go over just
go ahead.
a little bit more of this. I talked about the sapphire stone, all
Yep,
that.
with you.
Last one brought up, at least on this website, Daniel 12:3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. Okay.
What is that one now? Daniel what?
12-3.
Okay.
Old Danny, talking about the firmament. All right.
All right.
So, these are just a few examples that I wanted to bring up.
All right, cult members, I'm sorry to cut you off short like that. I'm not trying to give you blue balls or nothing, but at the same time, this topic required a little more time that we need to talk about. And we decided to split this one into a two-parter. So be on the lookout for that one. It will be probably dropping in the next 2 days. You know how we do. And we appreciate it.
I feel like we could talk about it for a very long time. We already did.
We probably could.
But anyhow, until next time, this was another beautiful episode of the Cult of Conspiracy, and my name's Jonathan.
I'm Jacob.
And there's one very important, extremely vital thing we need you to do just as soon as humanly possible. Open up that third eye.
Hey, cult members, Jacob here. Just wanted to ask, who wants better sex? The best way to get started is to go to adamandeve.com right now. Adam and Eve is offering 50% off just about any item, but that's not all. When you get one item, they will also send 3 bonus sexy items and 6 free movies. They offer discreet shipping as your privacy is a priority, plus free shipping on your entire order. Doesn't matter how much you spend or what you buy. All will be packaged and sent discreetly for free. That's 50% off one item and 10 free gifts to boot. Bring more pleasure and satisfaction into your bedroom. Just go to adamandeve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy or anything you desire. Just enter the offer code CULT at checkout and you'll get 50% off almost any item, plus 10 free gifts, 3 bonus items, 6 free movies, and free shipping. Use the offer code CULT, that's C-U-L-T, at adamandeve.com. Now, this is an exclusive offer specific to this podcast, so be sure to use this code to get you not just the discount and the free goodies, but also the 100% free shipping with the code CULT.